I found out by accident. Not through some elaborate trap or hidden camera. Just a stupid routine day that unraveled everything I believed about my marriage. It was a Thursday evening, quiet except for the hum of the dishwasher. My wife, Claire, was in the shower, humming softly, and her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Normally, I never touched her phone. I trusted her, or at least I thought I did. But that night something felt off. The message preview flashed across the screen. Evan. So what's the plan now that he's getting back next week? I stared. I shouldn't have opened it. I know that. But curiosity, the kind that feels like panic dressed in curiosity, got the better of me. I unlocked her phone. And that's when I read the sentence that shattered my world. Claire. He's just a substitute, Evan. Once Mark is back, I'll dump him. Froze. My own name. Mark. My wife of 7 years had just referred to me as a substitute. For a few seconds I couldn't breathe. The words looked unreal, like they'd been written by someone else, in another universe. But there they were, mocking me from the glowing screen, each word a knife twisting deeper into my chest. The unraveling. When Claire came out of the shower, she was wrapped in a towel, smiling, her hair damp and loose. "Hey, what do you want for dinner?" she asked casually, as if my entire world hadn't just collapsed a few feet away. I swallowed hard, forcing my voice steady. "Who's Evan?" The towel slipped slightly on her shoulder. "What? Evan?" I repeated, holding up the phone. "You texted him. Said I'm a substitute. Care to explain?" The color drained from her face. She didn't even try to deny it. Her mouth opened then closed. "Mark, it's not what you think." I laughed bitterly. "Oh. Then please enlighten me. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you're waiting for some guy to come back, so you can dump your husband." Tears welled in her eyes, but I wasn't ready for them. "Not now. Not after this." "Mark, please," she whispered. "Let me explain." I sat down, my hands trembling. "Then start talking." The truth she tried to bury. She told me about him. Her old flame, someone she'd met long before me before we married. His name was Nathan, not Evan. Evan was just a friend, someone she confided in. Nathan had been her boss years ago, when she worked at an architecture firm in Chicago. According to her, he was everything she wanted. Driven, confident, and complicated. But he was married then, so she'd buried the feelings and moved on. Or so she claimed. When I got a new job in Boston and she agreed to move with me, I thought it was a fresh start for both of us. Turns out it was just an intermission for her. Nathan's wife had died last year. And once he reached out to her again, those old feelings came rushing back. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she said, her voice trembling. "I just didn't know how to stop it. I never thought he'd contact me again. But when he did, I felt something. Something I hadn't felt in years. Clenched my jaw. And I'm the substitute until he comes back?" Her silence was my answer. The house turned cold. After that night I didn't say much. I didn't scream, didn't break anything. The silence between us was heavier than any argument could have been. We slept in the same house, but it felt like we lived in two different worlds. I started noticing the small lies she thought I'd miss, the sudden overtime, the secretive smiles when she texted, the perfume she never wore for me. One night I walked into the living room around midnight. She was sitting on the couch, typing furiously on her phone, smiling. When she saw me, she flinched and quickly set it down. "Who were you texting?" I asked softly. "No one." "Don't lie to me, Claire." She sighed. "It's Nathan. He's been going through a lot. He just needs someone to talk to." I laughed, cold, hollow. "Right. Someone to talk to. Someone to replace me." She stood, eyes glistening. "Mark, stop. You're making this harder than it needs to be. Harder than it needs to be. You betrayed me, Claire. You planned to leave me the second he wanted you back. And I'm the one making it hard." Her lips trembled, but she said nothing. That silence told me everything. The breaking point. A week later, she told me she was going on a business retreat with her design team. Something inside me snapped. I knew she wasn't going on any retreat. I checked her suitcase when she left. It wasn't business clothes. It was dresses, perfume, lingerie I hadn't seen in years. So I followed her. Not immediately. I waited until her flight landed. She'd left her itinerary on the counter. Careless, maybe arrogant. She was flying to Chicago. I knew who was in Chicago. Nathan. The confrontation. I didn't plan to confront her. I just needed to see the truth with my own eyes. 2 days later, I stood across the street from a small boutique hotel in downtown Chicago. The wind was cold, biting through my jacket. I saw her step out of a cab, smiling, her hair blowing in the wind, and there he was, waiting. Nathan. He looked older than I expected. Gray hair, tailored coat, that confident arrogance she'd always admired in men. She ran into his arms like she'd been waiting her whole life for that moment. And right there, in broad daylight, she kissed him. Something inside me shattered so completely, I could almost hear it. I didn't confront her then. Couldn't. I turned and walked away. The city blurring through tears I refused to let fall. A letter. I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I didn't wait up when she came home 2 days later pretending she was exhausted from meetings. Instead, I wrote a letter. I left it on the kitchen counter. Short, calm, and final. Blair. You don't need to pretend anymore. I saw you in Chicago. You made your choice, and I'm done being your substitute. You'll find divorce papers in the study. I've already spoken to a lawyer. You can have the house, I just want peace. I hope Nathan is everything you think he is. Because what you destroyed here, you'll never find again. Mark. When she found it, I was already gone. Months later. It's strange how quickly love can turn into absence. The things that once filled your world, the voice, the laughter, the scent, become ghosts that follow you everywhere. I moved to a small apartment by the coast. It was quiet, lonely at first. But it was honest. For weeks she tried to contact me, calls, texts, emails. I ignored them all. Eventually she stopped. Until one morning 3 months later I got a letter in the mail. Her handwriting. My chest tightened as I opened it. Mark. Nathan went back to his ex-wife. The one he swore he was done with. I guess I was just a distraction to him. I wanted to tell you how sorry I am. For everything. You didn't deserve any of it. You were kind, loyal, steady. But I was stupid enough to chase something I thought was missing. Now I know I destroyed the only real thing I ever had. If you can ever forgive me, please let me know. Even if we can't be together, I just need you to know I regret everything. Blair. I read it once. Then again. Then I folded it neatly and put it away. Not because I forgave her, but because some memories are better left buried quietly. The unexpected encounter. A year later I saw her again, by accident, at a cafe near my new office. She looked smaller somehow, older. Her eyes carried the weight of her choices. When she noticed me, she froze. Mark, she breathed, standing up. You look good. I smiled faintly. You look well. I heard about your promotion, she said softly. I'm glad things are going well for you. He nodded. They are. She hesitated, then said, I still think about you. About us. I met her gaze, calm and steady. You should have thought about that before calling me a substitute. Tears welled up in her eyes, but I didn't stay to see them fall. I turned and walked away, leaving her sitting alone with the weight of her regret. Betrayal changes you, not just how you see others but how you see yourself. For a long time I thought her words defined me. Substitute. But in truth they revealed her. Her emptiness. Her inability to recognize something real when it was right in front of her. Now, I wake up each morning without the heaviness of pretending. I drink my coffee by the window, watch the sun rise over the water, and feel something I thought I'd lost, peace. And sometimes when I think of her I don't feel anger anymore. Just a quiet sadness for what could have been. Because the truth is, she didn't just lose me. She lost the version of herself that could have been saved.